Hey guys, if you noticed this week, I didn't do any videos, and the main reason was because I went to see my favorite band in the whole world, Bowling for Soup. Now, they've been my favorite band since, well, I think they came out in 94. I think I've been a fan probably since 95, 96-ish. I'm not sure, but a long time nonetheless. And I am a huge fan. They are my favorite band of all time. And I also went and saw the Foo Fighters this week, so it was a very busy weekend. Of course, Foo Fighters were amazing. And this week's question has been a really tough one for me because it's when I go through and look at what people are asking, the question that is winning right now is, since I speak about sometimes, because I own a guitar shop, could I talk about that? And that just feels like an infomercial for me. You know, like I'm just going to go, hey, come to Crazy Phil's where the prices are just insane. And I didn't want to be that way. So I try to do what I always do with these videos, try to put a educational spin on it. And then, maybe that also will enlighten you as well. So today, I'm going to show you my business in a way that I hope it educates you about my business. All right, guys, let's get to it. When I talk about Arizona. We're going to work. So basically, typical day for me. So I get up, get my daughter ready for school, or help my wife get my daughter ready for school, start answering emails, start getting some of the clerical stuff out of the way for the business, accounting, sit in the office, get that done, deal with the sales reps that I have to deal with, try to get all that stuff done so that when I get to the store, I don't have that stuff to do. It never works. There's always still sales reps. They just come and you know, so there's always dealing with stuff. The academy side though, so here's how this works. So I have the guitar shop and I do the repairs, and then we have a music academy, and then we run 2 other music academies in the valley, which is and each one's in a different city. It's Chandler, Gilbert, and Mesa. So a lot of days like today, we have some small fires to put out. Today, my wife, one of the Gilbert location's teacher's car broke down. So she's dealing with that. She went to go help in that situation, and then as soon as she's done with that, a new teacher is starting today in the Mesa location. She wants to be on site to make sure that goes smoothly, which means I really need to help today in the Chandler location music lesson program, because there won't be anybody on site for that today to help with those students and their issues. Plus, we'll be running the guitar store. Luckily for me, the way we do repair is I work 6 days a week. I take Sundays off. So I work about a 10-hour day Monday through Friday, and then I work about a 6-7-hour day on Saturdays. And I don't do repairs on Fridays and Saturdays. I try to do it Monday through Thursday now. And the truth is I have to do it when I have to do it, but I try to keep to those days so I can get other stuff done. So because small business is about putting out small fires. You'll keep hearing me say that. Just doing stuff. And especially at my level of store, where, you know, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done. In other words, if I don't take out the trash, it's not getting done. I mean, I have help and stuff, but you get the idea, it needs to get done. And especially since it's really important, because small business like me, you know, we just went through the recession a few years back, and we're all still recovering from that. And I tell people all the time, you know, it looks like everybody's recovered, or it looks like recovery's happening. But you gotta understand, there's a lot of businesses like me that are sitting on the crater hole that the recession caused, and I'm recovering from it. Now, I've done really well. I was able to renegotiate some deals during the recession with my landlord, cut costs. My biggest accolade is none of my employees took a pay cut or lost hours during the recession. You know, especially my instructors, because the instructors make, you know, they make a livable wage. You know, they make enough money to support their families. So, I mean, and during the recession, you know, it was some hard choices. One of the choices I made during the recession was before I opened my store, I worked at a corporate gig, and I bought my dream house just 2 years prior to opening the store. And I had to get rid of that house and go to a much smaller house. And I did that because me and my wife had decided that, kind of like having children, you know, when you have a business, your employees are your children, and the idea that, you know, you've provided this job for them and they're relying on it. And so we didn't want to you know, lay anyone off or let anybody go. So we essentially just downsized our house and our cars. You know, we went from nicer cars to, you know, right, just made some choices. all of it seemed to work out. The only problem we had during the recession too on top of that was we had a teacher who got a little shady. It was a bad decision. He'd been with us a couple of years, and I think the recession made him desperate. Even though he was making enough money, his wife lost her job, and that prompted him, even though he took no pay cut from us and we were able to sustain him because of his wife's situation, he decided to try to take the students off site and do it out of his apartment. And we don't have a policy that stops a teacher from doing that, and I still don't, because I don't care. You know, I don't tell the customers where to go, they decide. But what happened was he left, and he wasn't able to secure the student base to go with him. And so what happens in that time, a lot of students took the advantage of the fact that it was already tough to pay for lessons. So since there was a mess with him, they just left. So we lost the business, he lost that business. So that financially hurt, you know, to the tune of like $2,000 a month. You can imagine how that comes out of your pocketbook in a recessionary time. That hurts to pay the bills. So so that's exciting. So let's go to the store. Okay, so here's our store, the McKnight Guitar Company, located next to the Bashas Center. And since I was talking about the recession, you can see that big empty space next to me. That used to be a business, and of course that's empty. But again, we still do pretty well, and so that's kind of nice. And there's the zoom in on there. And so, whoops, I'm kind of making this a mess, ain't I? Anyways, you can see we're already open, so we need to get to work because Ralph gets grumpy if I'm late. Okay, so here's the shop you guys were asking about, and the first thing, of course, is the Statue of Liberty statue playing Strat that we keep up here. If you've seen our logo, it has a statue in it. Maybe I'll explain that one day. Of course, we do a lot of pedals, so a lot of pedals on the wall, ready for people to walk up and check out. More guitars. Let's show you some stuff. Obviously, you gotta have some amps. Fender amps are pretty cool. Some guitars that people can grab and plug in the amps and try out. Some guitars and basses. Basses, we keep the basses at the bottom so the bass players remember where they live. No, I'm just kidding. So so guitars, of course, it's important. Powered Smith amps, of course, and PV, EVH. We do a lot of EVH, so I'm always stocking it. There's going to be a Van Halen concert soon, so we'll sell even more. Some Black Star. Those of you guys will recognize my Hot Rod Deluxe. We were A-Bing it to a Benson for comparison. Some guitar cases, because that's important. Pretty much accessories. What's interesting was when we opened the shop, every store kept accessories behind the counters. And I hated that because I thought, why would you put a $3 pack of strings behind the counter where someone couldn't touch it, but a $3,000 guitar where you could? So put the accessories where you can touch them. So, and the same with the pedals. I don't like things in glass cases because you can't touch it. So I want everybody to have access to the product. Otherwise, you might as well just buy it online. And then, what else? Acoustics. Got to have acoustics and Gretches. Very important to have Gretches. Used amps, of course. You know, some Voxes and stuff. Gotta like Gretsch. Gretsch is definitely one of my faves. There's a banjo. That's a 6-string banjo. So pretty exciting. We keep a very, I guess, a rock kind of motif. That's why the fake brick, it's fake, and the metal, just to give it that kind of vibe. We wanted to feel like a mom and pop store and be fun, but we wanted to have an industrial kind of rock kind of vibe so that it doesn't feel like just your typical band orchestra mom and pop shop. The Lesson Academy's here. This is where the check-in desk is and the waiting room. So come this way, unless of course you would like to get a cool bottle of McKnight water. Yep, I have my own water. It comes with talent in it, so you drink it. The more you drink, the more talent you get. The problem though is if you drink too much, you piss your talent away. So the waiting room, artwork done by my wife, except for that picture. I did that one myself. Very cool. I know. I got a C in art in school. We're doing some remodeling, new carpet, new moldings coming in, so it's very important. So let me show you a lesson room, and you'll probably notice when I walk in the lesson room, my voice changes. It's because the rooms are tuned so that it feels fuller in here when you're talking to your teacher, more of a personal experience with the teacher on these amps. And then I'll go into another room. When you go in, as soon as you walk in, the light sensors see you're in here and turn them on. It's friendly to the environment. Obviously, you can see where the moldings being removed for new carpet to be put in. Bass amps, guitar amps, it's important. We do something different. Basically what we do is a room we take and we cut 1 inch off the floor, off the door, so you can see in a room, you can see the student, and you can hear the student. And then, again, more rooms for the Lesson Academy. That's where they stay really busy. This room has not been tuned, so you'll hear an echo in here. It's because the teacher wanted art, so we're trying to deal with that by using corner wedges instead of, so it's getting there. And then there's smaller rooms. We call these practice rooms. The practice rooms are designed for the students after a lesson to come in here and practice. Let me take you to, in the cribs show kind of thing, where the magic happens. Okay, so this is where the magic happens. No, I'm just kidding. This is where the magic happens. This is the classroom. Pardon our mess. We're remodeling. New carpet is coming in. So basically this is the classroom. So this is where they teach the students ensemble class. In other words, how to do the, how to use the natural number system, how to interact with each other, the drum lessons. They have a stage for performance. They don't really teach them performance, but they do teach them how to interact with the musicians, and sometimes in that environment helps if they want to do a class to help them. And again, amps, you name it. Very exciting stuff. Here are some pictures signed by artists that we either had at the store or we saw at the NAMM or we met, you know, just cool people. Monty Montgomery, for those that don't know who he is amazing. And let's go this way. So here's something cool. Here's something you have to deal with when you have a small business. So this is a PRS Archon, these amps, and if you listen, you can hear Morse code. Hear those beeping and stuff? So let me show you what that is. So literally, so you know, literally this is the door to the store, and this is a giant cell phone tower that they installed. No one said anything, they just did it. So, and then, so we came in one day, there's this giant cell phone tower, they built this whole thing, and then all of a sudden we hear it beeping all the time through the amps. So it was very exciting, to say the least. So stuff you have to deal with. So anyway, so that's a quick tour of the store. It's my store, so we're proud of it. It's a small store. We pack a lot of stuff, as you can see, into this small store. We keep a good back stock as well in the store. And the other things I have to do besides repairs and run the store and the Lesson Academy is we also do our website and we do reverb. And so it's a fun business to do. I highly recommend it if you think about doing something like this, although there is a lot of pitfalls and disasters that will happen and may not happen, so you want to be aware of that. And again, like I said, this is the video I didn't really want to do per se, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And thank you for your time. Know your gear.